Hello, my name is Brooke, and I am a master's student at the University of Paris-Saclay. So I'll try to present a few slides just to compress everything in 3 minutes. So during my bachelor's, I was a fellow and intern several companies like MIT for computer vision research in computational geometry and about neuroscience at a program called Sven Kamina in the University of Carnegie Mellon and SSI at the University of Amsterdam about information retrieval and language modeling and quantum computing in IBM in 2019. So, what about previous research works? So, during MIT, some of the I did a lot of computer vision researches, but one of the two, I would like to explain one of the two core research that I did. So, one of them is Magic and Physics Solutions. This is basically a cognitive science and computer vision kind of like research that basically helps to understand and model humans' judgment about like some kind of physics solutions. It's actually whether or not some object relationships would fall or remain stable. So we design physics solutions. We render different 3D models of physics solutions, and then we try to fool the model or the human optical illusions, right? So after that, we'll try to understand true physics, the one that remain balanced, and the one the human's judgment or optical illusion. So we try to approximate how the brain works to approximate the entity physics. So the next tutorial that I did is basically about multimodal 3D diffusion models with my supervisor from Stanford. So this is basically a 1 year research. I did this research for 1 year. It's about 3D diffusion models and shape generation and recognition. So we did, okay, we can actually use this Lion ladder point diffusion models to generate and classify 3D shapes. So we have a baseline called MMVDC, multi-view diffusion classifier, and then I'll work out to perform the MMVDC instead of just treating a 3D model as a multi-view 3D object. We can actually pass it as a point cloud, and we can actually run diffusions and reconstruct a 3D shape out of it. So what are the different current research works that I'm currently doing? So one of the research is current hyperbolic geometry in large language models. That's basically instead of like treating words as Euclidean in a Euclidean embedding, so in a Euclidean space, we can treat them as a hyperbolic covered manifold, so that we can actually try to have some kind of complex relationship among words. So the next research that I'm trying to do with my supervisor at RAN is spatial temporal control visual content generation. I think this is the name by itself is self-explanatory. So I'm trying to reproduce some paper results. These are basically papers that I'm presenting for my master's studies. Each of them are I'm presenting each of them in my master's courses. One of them is the noise model. This is something that I'm doing for my reinforcement learning class, learning control for pixels. These are basically using computer vision research for learning control policy or for learning it's just vision and reinforcement learning. Some of the research that I'm currently doing is Graph GPT. So it's actually for my class for the knowledge representation class, knowledge representation from graphs class. It's basically treating graphs and their relationships as a token. So we can actually pass them to the transformer encoder, and then we can actually have a complex relationship. We can actually understand a complex relationship among graphs. 3M diffusion is basically understanding molecule generation. Yes, something different, completely different research. And then text is really, since this is basically writing the text and generating the 3D. And then I'm currently reading one of the papers in video models and network models. So for this specific PhD project, the first two and the last research projects is so related, I guess. So yeah. So one of the things that I'm currently doing and interested about is vision in control policy or learning controls from vision or from pixels, right? So I'm so interested in perception because like perception guides locomotion, it guides movement, it guides us whenever we traverse the 3D world. So perception really helps us to manipulate things. Once we see something, we can actually be able to manipulate it, right? So perception really helps us to identify the object of interest in some geometry called 3D world, right? So I know where this water bottle is, so I can pick it up and then I can do some kind of manipulations. So perception not only helps us to manipulate it, it also helps us to direct throughout us to where the information will be in the near future, right? Let's say I'm here. Let's say there's actually some important information over there, so I have to work, right? So perception will help us or will help me to direct my motor skills or my actions into that specific object of interest or where that specific information is located. So currently I'm reading and trying to reproduce some of the papers about learning control from videos. So we have this large pre-trained video generation models. So the thing is, okay, instead of learning control policy from actual robot data, we can actually learn from video latents. That's basically the whole idea of this. So we can actually learn to manipulate and learn control policy by only watching videos. It's actually squeezing raw observations of video latents into latent actions. So this is actually some of the paper or some of the works from NVIDIA about Cosmos, right? So we can actually generate a new kind of videos that's specifically for specific manipulation tasks, and then we can actually use those specific generated videos for learning actions or learning action policies. Yeah, because in human videos, you can, I don't know if I have time. So the whole thing is basically squeezing observation video knowledge into latent actions. To open research, can we truly understand the world without interacting it, right? So can we just understand the world by only watching it? That's something, right? Yeah. So it's a passive process. We're watching it. We are not actually interacting with it. So it's hard to learn control policies from videos. It's open research. Some of the people that I'm reading, like not this one, but this one, video models and our models, is really related with this research. So the noise ordered model, this is something that I'm currently doing for my reinforcement learning class. So, okay, so humans can actually focus on the relevant tasks. Okay, let's say I'm trying to do something because like since I'm seeing a lot of things, I'm not seeing everything. I'm only focusing on the important tasks while ignoring other irrelevant visions or sensory informations at hand. But the problem is reinforcement learning models don't do that. They literally focus and see everything, the relevant ones and the irrelevant ones. So this is work that basically helps us to separate the meaningful signals from the unimportant ones, so that we can actually have a good predictive dynamics. Otherwise, if we actually focus on everything, we wouldn't end up with a good predictive dynamics or control policy. So it's a way of extracting only important latents from input observations and passing those latents into future observations and end up with a good predictive dynamics. So I think this is it. I have to stop it. Okay.